Your cat has walked across the screen 7 times now.
Yo. If that's the last time for this podcast, then
No, it's perfect. It's 7, man. This is
Yeah.
important to you. What's your cat's name, by the way?
Leona.
Leona is very, very attention worthy today.
Yeah, I like you can only see her tail, by the way. Like, I feel like you should have some introduction to her other than that. Like, Leona, she's not happy to be here, but that's Leona. Just so everybody knows.
She's got the ears up like she's upset.
Yeah, she's not happy. She doesn't like being picked up. But, so everybody knows, that's Leona.
That's Leona.
You're discovering that, like, over an hour into this.
That's the intro to this.
You're listening to the Media Man Dan podcast, your place for music, movies, news, reviews, and interviews. Welcome to the show. Get ready to rock. Let's rock!
Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to a song from War of Ages called All Consuming Fire.
All-consuming fire!
Off to a great start.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Media Man Dan podcast. Today, I have one of my favorite reactors with me, Isaiah, aka Metal777. I absolutely love this dude. Welcome to my podcast.
Dude, I was listening to an episode a couple days ago, and I was like, I am excited to get this intro. Like, it's so, it hypes me up so much, you know?
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. And how is your day going today? This is the most generic question, and that's the only one I'll throw at you for now.
Pretty good, honestly. You know, I think today is the last day of high school for me. So, is that I'm graduating today, I guess that means. And then, just went to work, finished up some schoolwork, and here I am.
Your last day of high school is literally today.
Yeah.
I could not have planned this any better.
Dude, I'm in a celebratory mood already. This is going to be awesome.
Well, fantastic. I'm happy to bring the hype as much as I can here for you. Also, congratulations, pre-congratulations. I also overheard you. I think it was one of your Q&As. You said that you were doing college courses as well. How's that going?
It's been going pretty good. I'm going to be graduating with... Oh, it looks like my cat's about to walk across the screen, by the way. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Perfect time.
All right, kitty, come on. Let's set you down here. Okay, anyway, on that note, they're just kind of college classes. I'm going to be graduating with, I think, not my AA, but it's called the iGETSI. So it's like courses that transfer into college.
Nice.
So yeah, I've got a good amount of college work done, so that's good.
And what are you planning on going into for college?
Business with I think it'd be like a focus in marketing.
Heck yeah. That's a great thing to get into right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any focus on marketing music in the future?
Dude, that would be cool. That's like a dream job. I don't know if that will ever happen, but that'd be cool if it did.
Hey, dreams come true, man, as opposed to my theme song that I have. And speaking of theme songs, that's right. We're segueing into this. Where is your theme song for your channel?
Dude,
every video starts so awesome and genuine, and I'm just like, he needs something really cool to like be like, this is Metal777. Like, that would be so cool.
I wanted something like that for a while, but the issue is I don't want to use someone else's music, and I can't make music. And then at the same time, I haven't been willing to I thought about, do I pay someone on Fiverr or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to use someone else's music, and I can't make music, so that's where I'm at.
Oh, well, after this interview, I will show you the other tune that never came out, but my friend helped me create my first theme song when I was doing the reactions, and I was really nervous about it because I was like, I mean, it's a simple, easy keyboard thing,
Yeah.
but like, how is he going to make it better? He sent me the sample and I was like in tears. I was like, this is the coolest thing. I can't believe that I actually have a cool, like, a standout intro. And it's because he did all the guitar work, the drum work, all of that. Mine was just the simple, easy riff.
So the intro that now plays in your channel and this podcast and all that,
Mhm.
that is just what you created at that time?
The old channel. So Music Man Dan.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about Music Man Dan.
Yeah, Music Man Dan, where the reactions have now all moved to. That was my old like tune. Now I use my friend Eddie's band's music, and that is called Definition Part 2. His band is called Cry of Silence. Great instrumental. Right before I have it so that it cuts off right before the violin comes in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a violin on that song. It's really cool.
Just have like an extended intro with a violin. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
really emotional, I guess. Like, what type of violin?
It's really cool, man. It's honestly like it comes in as if it's like a guitar solo,
Oh, interesting.
but it's all violin. And I was like, it sounds good, but it's like I'm still that rocky kind of guy, so I want to have that instant rock. And probably for the outro though, I will add the violin part because that would be cool. Just keep it unique. But either way, so that's the story. So you're not going to do Fiverr.
Unfortunately, no.
You want to do something completely organic that's true to you. You're not going to be like, let me contact one of my favorite bands and be like, I love this riff. Can I use it?
I mean, oh gosh, Kat. Sorry. This is not the first time she's interrupted something like this. Anyway, though.
He just wants attention.
But yeah, I have thought about contacting a band and like asking if I can use their riff and stuff. But like in your case, you're like using a friend's music, like that's cool. But I don't know. I've always felt so weird about it. Like, how do I get something that accurately represents my channel, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, you have a great mix on your channel. And now we're going to go into that. You have reacted to mostly metal music from the beginning, but it's in the faith-based community. And you randomly get requests for these artists that are completely out of that genre. You had one reaction to contemporary Christian music. And I was in shock because as soon as I heard it, I was like, wait, what channel am I on here? So are you planning on, spreading the genres out? Are you going to do like Christian country music as well? Christian pop music? Anything like that?
I've considered it. I think like for me, I'm really more into like the Christian, the metal sort of sphere. The reason I did the contemporary Christian one that one time was because the worship team that did that reached out to me and was like, we want to see a reaction. And I was interested. Like, I was just super curious to see what that'd be like. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Christian metal community is kind of its own thing in a way. Like, it doesn't really extend into a lot of other genres. So I feel like if I were to start doing that, my audience would get kind of weird. Like right now, there's like all this one community around Christian metal. I think that would make it a bit weird because it'd just be, I feel like different communities, if that makes sense.
Yes. And also you've made a specific impact already on your audience. Your audience has an expectation that you're going to continue that specific genre or that specific style or that specific thought process. And like you said before, the Christian faith-based type of music is probably the best niche to get into because there is a huge community that loves that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing that worship group reached out to you because you had like a hashtag Christian on it, and then they watched like your impending doom and they were like, oh, this guy needs some happiness in his life.
Dude, I think it was some guy that watched my channel and he saw one of my metal reactions, I think. I don't remember which one. And then he was like, hey, do you want to react to some worship music? So yeah, it was an interesting experience.
It's exactly the same. Worship music, metal music. No, not at all. But they would play at Winter Jam together. And speaking of Winter Jam, I'm going with another segue. I like these things just come to me, man.
Yeah, man.
How many concerts have you attended so far? I know you're very young, so it's hard to get out and be able to, independently live life. But have you gone to some of your favorite band's concerts so far?
I think I've been to a total of, it depends on what you count as a concert, because like I've been to a festival, so that's technically like 2 concerts. But yeah, I've been to a total of 3, I think, of like metal, and then maybe 2 or 3 other like contemporary Christian type ones. So I saw Disciple in 2019.
Nice.
Face Down Fest in 2020, which was a weird time, by the way. It was in early March, like right before everything shut down.
Wait, that's the luckiest thing that it actually continued to happen.
Yeah, I mean, sort of the luckiest thing though, because like after Face Down Fest that year, I think I might have actually gotten COVID. Because immediately after Face Down Fest, like beginning of March, I came home and immediately got really sick and was like in bed for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that is so rough. And was it like the full like hardcore COVID, or was it more mild? Oh, it was the worst type.
Yeah, it was like well, I don't want to get into the details, I guess. But
yeah,
like,
no, of course
rough.
not.
It was rough.
Ugh, that sounds awful. I'm sorry that came from that, but did you have a good time while you were there?
Absolutely.
And who did you see? That was my
first. So that was a ton of bands. War of Ages.
Woo!
And then a lot of the other Face Down ones. I think there was. Yeah, I think there was. I don't know if you would know a lot of these bands, but like Nothing Left.
Oh, of course.
Okay, awesome.
Side project after For Today ended. Yes.
And then, shoot, I feel bad. That's what I remember. There was also Deathbreaker and lots of others that I honestly don't fully remember the names of. But
no, that works perfectly, because then I'm going to go right into this. You have had so much praise for Fit for a King before that Backbreaker came into my mind when you said Deathbreaker. Do you still love that band as one of your favorites?
Ooh, man, that's a controversial. Like I have a controversial opinion, to be honest.
All right.
I used to like them a lot, and I don't know if it's something I really want to get into fully. But their lead singer has made some comments that have kind of made me a bit iffy about supporting them as a band, like publicly. Like I still listen to them, I still enjoy their music, but yeah, he said a couple things specifically about abortion that were a little concerning for me.
As far as, I believe you informed me on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That did change my perspective as well.
Yeah, it was. I can't really provide evidence of that or anything. I think he like deleted most of the posts. There were a couple screenshots out there, but yeah, I saw them day of. He said some stuff, and I don't know. I feel weird promoting them as like a Christian metal channel.
Gotcha.
When they have this viewpoint, but yeah, I still like them. I still listen to them.
Yeah, I'd say musically, fantastic band.
Mm-hmm.
I really love their album from last year. Yeah, I could say Ryan Kirby, a little sketchy, his opinion on things, but I'm not going to dive deep into that either. Yeah. This is not about Ryan Kirby. This is about Isaiah. Once again, if you guys are listening, this is Metal 777 on the Media Man Dan podcast. We are having a great time chatting about music, live music, school, everything. I forgot what else intro music. There we go.
Yeah.
That's important. Now I want to dive deep into one of my favorite videos you've made. You had your youth group react to two songs. One was Jesus Wept by Demon Hunter, and the other was Theocracy. What was the song?
It was like the one short one they have, Hide in the Fairy Tale, I think.
Hide in the Fairy Tale, yeah. Love both songs, but I loved their perspective. Hearing their choice on like why Jesus wept and all that. And all I was thinking was, wait a second, hold up. I'm thinking Agony in the Garden. You guys were like in the middle of the Bible. I was like, wait. I'm thinking Agony in the Garden here, because he was weeping before, crucifixion.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, is it true? I wouldn't know, but Mr. Isaiah here does absolutely amazing amounts of research in order to make sure that his reactions are way better than mine, because I'll listen to things, I'll react immediately, I'll give you my feedback, but I don't look into it that much. I'll binge an artist, but I won't even be able to tell you a song. This man probably has web pages full of notes so that he knows exactly what to say about the artist. And I absolutely respect that, because that work ethic is going to bring you far and wide, my friend, and you deserve it, because as you are so young right now, you're just going to keep growing as I become dust.
Dang, man, you're really like hyping me up. But to me personally, like, well, when I record reactions, I do actually just kind of sit in my room for like, it's probably around 30 minutes and just gradually go through all the things I can think about the song. And that's why there's so many cuts, just because it's like individual line by line, my thoughts. But so I don't really use notes. But yeah, when it comes to lyrics, that is something I'm like, I don't know. To me personally, and I think like as a Christian, I value lyrics a lot. And so I really want to give people, when I'm like doing a reaction, like a very clear understanding of what the lyrics actually mean. I don't know, whatever it is, basically, so people can form their own opinion on it. It's like if they have a clear understanding, for their own opinion on the lyrics. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So you're giving them a breakdown of the lyrics, and then they're choosing their own perspective on how they want to perceive that song. That's awesome, man. Because like I said before, I don't do as much work when it comes to the reactions. I'm just reacting to the music of it usually. So the lyrics I go back to as I'm listening to the song on my own, but not in front of the camera. That kind of problem happens to me all the time. And there are songs that I have heard hundreds of times that to this day, I have finally made an effort to listen to the lyrics and go, oh my gosh, I finally know what they're talking about. One of those, I was talking about it on one of the other interviews, was Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park.
Oh, wow.
I have listened to the song multiple times. I've listened to the chorus multiple times, the verses multiple times. I've seen them live, and I could not tell you what that song was about until like a couple of months ago, because I finally sat down and analyzed what Chester was saying and what the band was portraying to me and everybody listening. I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense on why this is such a big hit. Because I always said, like, I don't like the tempo of that song because it's different from the others. I was a very critical person when I started out in metal, new metal, all of that. And speaking of starting out, that's right. Another segue. Here we go. How did you find metal?
Well, that's an interesting story. So basically, I think when I was around probably 12, 13, I started listening to a lot of music, and it was mostly like Matthew West, any Christian contemporary thing. I think I said in a video I talked about this, like it's just basically if you can picture hearing it on Christian radio, that's what I was listening to. And so yeah, I listened to a lot of that. And then I started going to school, I think a friend introduced me to Shinedown. I think that was kind of the first thing. So going to school, a friend introduced me to Shinedown. I really liked the song Special and a couple of the other softer ones.
That's right. That's just a couple of years ago. Special is such a good song.
Oh yeah. This is like a month or two after the album had come out. It was, and then I gradually like worked my way up to maybe Kill Your Conscience, a couple other songs on that album. And eventually I started enjoying songs like Devil or more harder rock stuff. And that's when I discovered Papa Roach and like Nine Lashes, I think. 1,000 Foot Crutch. That's the name I'm thinking of. And Red and stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, a lot of bands like that. And then from there, I had a friend who listened to like a lot of actual metal stuff. And so we sort of tried to one up each other in terms of what we were listening to, it kind of became. And so eventually I was listening to metalcore and he was listening to deathcore and stuff. And so that's how I kind of slowly worked my way up from that.
Yeah. Most people, when it comes to getting into the heaviest of metal, usually can't go from Shinedown to Lorna Shore.
It's not a 0 to 100 thing. Yeah.
No, it does gradually take a lot of effort. you have the like limits. I always send a playlist whenever I have people that are like, Dan, get me into some really cool metal bands. I'm like, well, let me get you on this playlist first. This is different types of screams, just so you know. Once again, they're not worshiping the devil, even if it sounds exactly like it. It's just gradually going to get worse. So wherever you want to stop right there, I'll give you more bands to listen to in that category, but don't go all the way to the end yet, because I don't think you're ready.
Yeah, exactly.
And I, for myself, I was listening to a couple of your black metal reactions, and I was like, how he makes it through these songs without like saying, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Dude, there was the I'm not a huge black metal fan, to be honest. I'll listen to it and honestly, I struggle to figure out like what do I talk about with those songs? Because it's often just kind of the same, not like kind of the same repetitive riff and tempo, with just intermittent like screams. And so it's hard for me to figure out what makes a good black metal song. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been interesting to check out a genre like that, because that's not something I personally listen to very much.
But you take more time with them than I could ever. I mean, if I have to listen to an album, someone's like, Dan, you have to listen to this. You got to give me your opinion on it. I'll be like, okay. Listen to it twice and I'll be like, okay. Now that that's done, here's my really critical perception on everything that you've put out or whatever band you love. But at the same time, I'll be like, hey, maybe it's not my thing. So, hey, maybe this is great. I personally cannot stand when something in the modern age is not produced to a modern
Yeah.
age sound. And that's
Yeah.
black metal's like known thing is that there's a lot less production.
I have the same thing. Like I want to be like, this is like I want to enjoy it, you know? But it is just I struggle to. Maybe eventually if I just like sit down and listen to just black metal for like 4 hours straight, maybe then I'll get it. But currently I don't really.
I would recommend not doing that.
I'm gonna come out with just like corpse paint and everything, you know?
You're gonna grow your hair out all the way. It's just gonna be in front of your eyes and everything. My introduction to metal, and I'm going back to my original question. I got I got through a lot of rock music first. I was first introduced to classic rock, so I grew up on Chicago. I grew up on Motown, so Earth, Wind, and Fire, a couple other artists that I really can't name at this moment, and I also got into contemporary Christian music, Michael W. Smith, and Mercy Me. That's it. Yeah, so I got into that sound. I was used to that sound, but I never really gravitated towards that type of music. I was singing in church choir, and we weren't really doing CCM. We were doing more, traditional.
Yeah.
But we did have good mixtures. There's a song called Witnesses. It was like, we can be your witnesses. And it had like a little clap with it. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
So I got used to that really happy, upbeat type of tone. I wasn't really into the darker or minor key type of music yet. One album came out during that time and my dad picked it up. I didn't listen to it until much, much later in like high school. And that was Weird Al's Running with Scissors.
Oh, dude.
Weird Al's Running with Scissors. This album has a new metal song on it. It's a rendition of All About the Benjamins, but it's called All About the Pentiums. And I got used to the way that the guitars worked. I got used to the rap core kind of flow. And I would mow my lawn. This is how I listened to music before I had streaming, before I had CDs that I was buying for myself. I would put it in my CD player and just walk around and mow the lawn to whatever it was repeatedly. That's all I did. And I would skip to my favorite song or be like, oh, what was that? Oh, let me go back. And I didn't get into anything heavy until like junior year. Junior year, I was in youth group and I was part of a retreat where I was a participant. And the gentleman who had his story time, we had story involved with music. So it would be like, God is my friend. Here's a song that would relate to my story. God is my father, relate to my story, kind of thing. And I think that he had God is my friend or something like that. But he was talking about his like downfall with dealing with ADD, ADHD. And that's what I have. So it was like an eye-opening thing to me. And he played Red Mystery of You.
Oh, wow.
And we got CDs of all of the music that was played for every single story hour. And that was number one on the second CD was Mystery of You. So I immediately popped it in for my Xbox Playtime playlist. And I was just spinning it repeatedly. I was looking for anything I could find at the time. We didn't really have smartphones yet. So I was working with a really old PC and I was like, how do I find a band named Red? This is impossible. I mean, who wouldn't name their band Red, right? No, there's barely anyone. Very lucky. And I went to the library and I picked up Until We Have Faces.
Oh, dude, that is such a good album.
Bro, I couldn't believe how heavy Feed the Machine was. So I couldn't listen to it. I would skip that song and I would go on and be like, wait, where's the singing? What's going on here? Like, you come from Mystery of You, which is just soaring choruses, and you get to have, of course, the orchestral known sound of Red, but I didn't know them yet. So I was listening to that, and that was like my gateway to get back into a heavier type of sound. And that was 2 years after that Weird Al album was like my main thing that I was spinning. So I was very late to the game, but I was so happy that my first experience was with Red. And then finally I got into Linkin Park after a couple of their Transformers songs were hitting the main music video playlist. I started watching their other music videos and I watched Lost in the Echo. and that's what got me comfortable with EDM, rap, and screamo, like all at the same time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they really connected. And then I would watch the music videos on loop, but I would watch them in alphabetical order. We had music choice, and the first choice that they would put up top for A was A Day to Remember. I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? And so I watched that video a couple times, and that got me more comfortable with how screams are supposed to sound. And so I went back to Red, and I wasn't as jarred anymore. I was like, whoa, this makes so much more sense. It's just the genre. It's not like they're not able to sing. It's just that they're intentionally screaming, not screaming to just yell at you.
Dude, I don't think I have any friend. Well, I have one friend that kind of listens to metal.
What do they listen to, or what did they get you into?
So I have one friend that like listens to a little bit. He got into like Fit for a King, some other sort of like metalcore bands, but that's about as far as he went. And I don't think he really listens to it much nowadays. And that's about it when it comes to friends that like listen to metal. Do you know Man of God? That like side project of Impending Doom?
No, I don't know that.
So it's like Corpse, the artist, like his like style musically.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with screaming. And Brooke Reeves from Impending Doom is doing the vocals over these like trap beats. And for whatever reason, my friend really likes that. Like, I can't get him into any other metal, but he likes that like screaming and trap beat thing. So,
oh my goodness, that's like throwback. I've been watching Finn McKenty, and he would call that like Blood on the Dance Floor era screamo. That sounds like old 2007 screamo, honestly, if you're gonna add like EDM or pop to it.
Well, it's interesting though, because there's pretty much no guitar, no drums, no bass in any of the songs. It's just the trap beat. And so, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like that Corpse style, but with deathcore vocals.
Interesting. Yeah, I will have to check that out. Man of God.
Yeah.
Take note, everybody listening right now. Man of God needs to be on your playlist. You can tell us if you love it or hate it in the comments down below. Also down below, you're going to find all of the information for Isaiah here, because if he's one of my favorite channels, and I'm like tiny little guy, you guys can go and help him out. Take all of those friends that you have that, subscribe to me, bring them over to his channel, which is way more active and way more suited for an audience that loves music and won't just randomly throw like movie reactions and podcast into the mix. This man is set on everything. And now we need to talk about where Isaiah is going to go next with his channel. What is your future plan for your channel?
That's honestly hard to say. With graduating, like I'm going to college this next year, and then I'm going to be working a lot over the summer. And so I've been trying to figure out, dude, you heard it here first, but potentially I'm either going to try to make some money off of it, because I feel like I need to like justify its existence, because right now it's just a hobby.
Yes.
And like if I'm going into college, I know I'm not going to have a lot of time. It's going to need to be more than a hobby, I think. I'm going to be trying to start a Patreon or trying to do something to make it into more of a hobby, so that it actually can become more of a priority in my life and it's not just a hobby. So yeah, we'll see. But a lot of videos this summer, probably. I've already filmed like 2 collaborations so far that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, just a lot of interesting stuff. I've been thinking I'm going to go kind of in the direction of like Nick Nocturnal.
Nice.
Him, a lot of like I'm going to still be doing reactions for sure, but kind of trying to mix it up and do something a bit more unique, I guess. Hopefully bringing people that aren't just into Christian metal.
I'm a liar then. He's changing it up, guys. He's not just doing reactions only. But no, that's a great goal. Everybody should get monetized when it comes to the people that, full on have passion for this. My reason for being on YouTube is literally just a hobby. I needed something to do in my free time. I was good with talking. I'm not camera shy or anything like that. But when I'm one-on-one with you, I'm more nervous than I could ever imagine if I was in front of like 1 million people.
I'm really curious then. So you weren't camera shy at all starting YouTube?
No. I was nervous nervous with my technology. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a set plan at that time. I just
Mhm.
knew I wanted to talk about music, movies, and media. Media Man Dan. So originally Music Man Dan, and I would change that to that old channel. But either way, it was just like getting comfortable with the confidence. Like I knew how to talk to a camera. I knew where to look. That's the good thing. Some people, they'll look at
Yeah.
themselves and they'll be like, I think I'm doing it right. I'm like, no, the
No, you
camera.
gotta look at the blue. Yeah,
Where that little it looks like the circle of death. You have to look directly in.
dude, that terrified me when I first started recording videos. I could not make myself look at the camera, and I can't figure out why, but it took me like 3 or 4 months before I could stop doing like this and start doing like actually looking straight at the camera.
Yeah, it took me 2 months to realize that I wasn't loud enough and I wasn't well lit.
Mm-hmm.
I had very little control of what I was doing because in my mind I was like, I'm gonna be the next big thing, and I was like, with zero ring light, zero microphone. So I bought a microphone, plugged it in, didn't even turn it on, but told
Oh
myself that it
man.
worked. So my most confident was like 2 months after I started my channel, and I came back on and I was like, that's the confidence I need to have every video. Okay. So I just memorized like how I was saying it, what I was saying. Even if I messed up, I only had one take every video because
Oh my gosh,
I would
dude.
record directly through YouTube. They would have that option where you could just record and then it would tell you like, oh, this is how much this is how much
Yeah.
time you get to have. And then my phone would either turn off or say the battery was full or it was dying. I was like, oh my gosh, or somebody would walk in the room. It's like, okay, restart, restart, restart. So very different process as opposed to nowadays where everything is nice and convenient. Phones are in much better shape.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have ring lights and spotlights and whatever you have to make you work better. But yeah, confidence in itself was the main thing that I needed to have. Camera shyness, none.
That's really impressive, dude. I know so many people that like, well, even actually youth group reacts. When I do those, it's interesting to see because there are a couple of people that will be able to like actually kind of look at the camera and like are more confident. But a lot of times, yeah, people are like very nervous to talk. And it's interesting because I've gotten so used to talking to a camera that I'm not like now it's not really nerve-wracking. Like I can just do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting because for me, it was very nerve-wracking at first. Like I don't know why it was terrifying, but I just had to keep reassuring myself, like, you don't have to, this doesn't have to be public. This doesn't have to be public. Like nobody needs to see this.
That's
But
very,
yeah.
very nice. That's a good mindset. It does not have to be public. This can be done a couple of more times. You don't have to do it in one take. Yeah, most of my videos on the old channel are gone. I deleted a lot of them because of secondhand embarrassment or just the lighting was off. I had like a light. I have it next to me right now, and it would like be the only thing shining directly on my face. So I'm bleach, and then everything behind me is shadowed and my
Oh
microphone
man.
was off, but I thought it was on. So I'm trying to talk softly and the music's playing in the background. Just bad, bad, bad. You could also include music into your video. Like you picked it from like
Mm-hmm.
the library on your phone or whatever, and then it would just play in the background. It was a really strange
Interesting.
thing. Yeah. And I had an Android, so I did not have the best camera. It was probably like 480p to 720p was like the highest. Yeah.
So, how long ago did you actually start your channel?
I started January 2nd, 2019.
Oh, that's a long time ago, actually. That's been
Yes.
like 4 years. Yeah, that's been over 4 years.
Yes. Coming up on 5 years. Isn't that
Oh my
crazy?
gosh, man. Wow. Yeah, so I remember I discovered your channel when you reacted to Saved by Scarlet.
I
And
loved that reaction.
so that's when I discovered your channel. And you had been doing it then, I guess, for like 2 years at that point, at least.
Yep. I was
Wow.
I was getting into reactions at that point. I was definitely not good at it yet, but I was at least getting my feet in the water
Mhm.
and taking requests, which was so nice. And finally getting people to reach out to you in DMs. That was the coolest thing for me because I
Oh,
was like,
absolutely. Yeah.
the content could never end. Everybody's messaging me all the time. Check out my music. I'm like, of course, you want a reaction? It was like an easy thing. But for me, like I said, this was always a hobby. I've never got paid a dime or anything like that. I've never even had that mindset of business until this year, because I was just like, I could use a few bucks on the side. That would be great. But for you, I'm going to go back to you because you're the main star here. I got into your channel because I saw your dad and you react to Theocracy.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was Mirror of Souls or I Am or something, but his commentary, your commentary, natural professionalism. I was like, oh, I'm going to love this channel. Also, I love Theocracy, but not the governmental version. I love Theocracy, the band. I think they're really, really amazing, truly. And so watching your father give his input in a very biblical based intelligence level. So he's biblically intelligent. And there were things that I was like, okay, from my days, long time ago, I was very, very involved in my church and everything like that. I would be in choir for teen choir, for adult choir. I was in the youth ministry and all of that. So every time that he said something about the Bible, I was like, wait. I think I remember what he's saying right now. And then he would explain it in like layman's terms for all of the people listening. And I was like, oh, okay. No, he's absolutely spot on with the lyrical analysis that he did, especially with Mirror of Souls. I like re-listened to that one today. Amazing. Like, I love that you let him have that time on your podcast, on your YouTube channel. Do you like having guests more, or do you like to do it by yourself more?
Doing it by myself is very convenient, but having guests is great when I get to do that. Because, like, I think, I can maybe talk about a song, but my dad has a level of insight I honestly don't have. And that's what I've noticed with a lot of people I bring on. They just, they can interpret things in a different way and really bring more out of a reaction than I could. So it's really nice. Like, I had a youth group reacts kind of had that. And then I think a little bit ago, I did a reaction with a pastor. And then, I think so I've had a couple cool experiences where I've gotten to do reactions with people that just would have more insight than I do.
Excellent. I've also seen pastors reacting more recently. I can't remember what channel that was, but it was really cool. I was happy to see like some positive feedback.
Pastor Rob?
Probably.
Yeah, he's probably the best out there when it comes to like Christian metal reactions, period.
I just love anybody that can open their mind up to the idea that the metal genre is not just satanic, because
that's true.
It's so commonly seen as the worst genre to get into if you are a Christian. And so it's stigmatized for anybody that's listening to it. It's like, that's devil music. You can't. And I'm like, wait. For today, man. Today. that kind of band, amazingly Christian lyrics. Every single song has an excellent message usually, and even the darker moments are made for the fear of death, hell, demonic possession, all of that you want to escape from as a Christian. And what better than having somebody who's been through it, who's now a preacher? I mean, Maddie is just an incredible vocalist.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, their stories and the way that they modernize biblical speech, like let's talk about For Today. Have you had much time with them? You probably didn't even know they existed when they were like, big and still
I had
active.
no idea. Yeah.
I got to see them at their farewell tour. That's like right around the time I think that my fiance's brother got into them because his math teacher, randomly told him about it. And I was like, oh, cool, let's check this out. And I was so scared. It's like, oh, this is too heavy for me, man. Too heavy. So a whole year goes by and they end up going on the farewell tour. And I'm like, well, I got to see them. I got to see them.
Mhm.
This is going to be incredible. And truly was. Maddie actually had his dad come out and help him on vocals. It was awesome. For one song, he like came
That's
out there
so
and he was
cool.
screaming with his dad on stage. It was like, that's the most epic way to go out as a band. Get the whole family
Absolutely, yeah.
involved.
I mean, so yeah, what was their set list like? Was it just a lot of their bigger songs, or?
Yeah, it was all their hits. I mean, they've just had released Wake like a year or two before that.
Yeah.
So that definitely was on the playlist, but it wasn't as much as their big hits. And they had a heck of a set list along with the lineup. Unfortunately, we didn't have a great producer running the sound at that place. The venue decided not to check the sound before letting not Lorna Shore, Norma Jean.
Lorna Shore opening for today.
Actually, it was My Epic. What was the other one? They're big right now. I say them
like in metalcore.
Yes.
Oh shoot!
Start to the S.
Shoot, I'm just gonna scroll through. Silent Planet.
Silent Planet. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So Silent Planet didn't go melodic yet. They were still just pure metalcore, and then we had Norma Jean right before For Today went on. And so
that is an amazing lineup, though.
It was, except for Norma Jean had no sound control, and the guitar was too loud, and the screaming was too intense, and the drums were like just getting to the guitar level. I was like, this is way too loud. Yeah, we were all like,
oh gosh. I mean, Norma Jean is one of those bands too. Like they are known for their live shows.
Yep.
And so it's kind of sad that you had to see them like that, but
I will tell you, I wasn't into hardcore, post-hardcore, whatever they are. I was not into that yet, and I'm still not into that.
Oh gosh.
But seeing that and with extremely loud sound, not very helpful for the first experience.
So actually, I'm really curious about this. This is somewhat off topic, but on the topic of like genres like, let's say, black metal or hardcore, when you initially discovered like this style of music, did it ever scare you to listen to some of the screaming?
Of course.
Like I got physically, like actually scared when I first heard, I think it was Parkway Drive.
Which song?
Oh dude, it was off that album.
Wishing Wells?
Shoot. No, it was Reverence.
Reverence.
I think that's the name of it.
That has Wishing Wells on it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What song that really traumatized
Dude,
you?
I have not listened to them in so long. I don't remember, but it's probably whatever the most popular song on that album was. But dude, I showed it to my parents and was like I was trying to show like, see, I can listen to this crazy music. For whatever reason, I wanted to like show them like, see, I can listen to this and enjoy it. I did not enjoy it when I first heard it. That frightened me so much. Oh, and I showed them Memphis May Fire's. What's a song where he's where there are maggots all over him and stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Sinner.
Oh, from the Hollow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hell of an album. Like that is one of the heaviest metalcore albums from them, at least. And that's the defining sound that I consider Memphis May Fire. The choruses, amazing. But I have not seen the video, so thank you. So now I know there's going to be maggots all over.
Oh yeah, it's quite the music video, and I showed it to my parents just to see like that was my version of being rebellious, maybe just like listening to metal. And so yeah, I think I scared my parents a bit with the first couple songs and bands I got into.
That makes sense. Yeah, I fortunately never showed anyone A Day to Remember. I did not know. Jeremy has one of the most ferocious screams, honestly. Like every time that I've heard it to this day, I'm just like, wow, he is one of those people that sounds extremely angry. But I saw him and of course A Day to Remember open for Linkin Park. And that was where I realized the music video was a lie, because they show another person in the music video for I'm Made of Wax, Larry, what are you made of? He's not screaming. And this one dude that's playing like the catcher in their game of, I don't know, kickball or something. It's like a very violent game of kickball. It's so funny. And he's doing the scream. So I thought that was like not Jeremy's part, but Jeremy is the main vocal song. I did not realize that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's intensely talented.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Intensely talented. That's the best way to put it.
Yes, he's intense. His screams are far from easy to listen to. Anybody that's like, oh yeah, that's the mild stuff. I'd be like, what do you listen to?
Oh yeah.
Imagine somebody like screaming that outside your house or something. Ooh, ooh, it's violent screams. I loved it though. I think that would traumatize my family. The good thing about me getting into metal so late is that I got into rap just a little bit before that. And so I had made it through a couple of very intense songs by Eminem. And he's very loud and screamy and explicit. But one of the songs that really helps Metalhead, and Metalheads love this song, is Kim, which is a very dark, violent, evil song that you should probably avoid at all costs. But in all honesty, it has a metal riff behind it, and there's a whole lot of yelling, screaming, and swearing. So it was like so intense that after that, you're like, whew, nothing could get any worse than that. And of course, now there's, Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
And To the Hellfire and stuff like that. But at least there's some melody. That song has one of the darkest melodies. It's very, very evil. It's intentional though. Yeah. Regardless. So your first fear was Pray by Parkway Drive. How do you feel about Parkway now that you've heard all these other bands?
Well, after I listened to that particular song and a couple others, I was listening to that album a lot. And then I don't remember what the context was, but I think I couldn't make sense of some of the lyrics. And so I showed them to my dad. And he was like, hey, these aren't great. And so I stopped listening to them at that point. And I don't think I've listened to them since.
There you go. That's probably the best choice. Knowing that you are a man of God, a faithful person, and you're not in a what were you saying before? It was trap screamo. Yeah, you're not in a trap screamo band. He is a man of God, but not the man of God. Anyway, I would recommend if you're not looking for those extremely anti-Christian lyrics to avoid a Parkway. I don't know what happened between their Horizons album and Reverence, but a lot of things changed. Wishing Wells is probably one of the most anti-Christian songs I've heard, anti-God songs specifically. It's all over the lyrics of that one. I still love the chorus, and that's what got me every single time, because I saw While She Sleeps open for Bullet for My Valentine, and they also have a song about not believing in God. And all of these songs that somehow are so anti what I believed in as a kid, and like the way that I would say, oh, I can't ever listen to that. Those were the ones that I would like love, because the chorus hooked me so much that I was like, okay, well, I'll just love it for the music. I won't love it for the message, just the music. And I was like, well, let's say God's testing me. He's putting me in this area. I'm like, should I still put these songs at the top of the list? Probably not. And so I started getting into a more, uplifting type of metal. But I did return back to those songs, and I still said, like, structure-wise, talent-wise, I hear a lot of greatness. But there is nothing to this day, and we're gonna dive deep now. What do you think of the new sound that Red has had for, like, I guess their heaviest album, their most experimental album? Do you think that they're going to throw something at us that we've never heard before, or do you think they're going to stick to a formula that we're just comfortable with and enjoying the most?
I honestly have no clue.
Because like Until We Have Faces was fan made. Like they're like, this is for the fans specifically.
Well, that's what I'm like. So their first album, then Until We Have Faces, then I think it was Innocence and Instinct. All those albums were kind of not the same, but kind of a similar sound. And then, with Release the Panic and Forward, it's all been kind of different.
Oh, yeah.
So I really don't know.
The strangest production, because, I mean, they chose a different producer. But they got some okay songs on there. Not my favorite album.
Yeah, it's no offense to them to that album or whoever produced it or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of boring to listen to, but Perfect Life is a fine song.
Oh, Perfect Life has just one of the greatest videos. I mean, you ever watch it in slow motion? I love the little
slow
messages.
Motion. No,
it's so cool. They have these little subliminal messages, intentional pro-Christian messages of not conforming. That's the entire video. And I had to watch it like 70 times before I realized that those things were coming up. And I was like, wait. What were those words? And I put it on like times 0.75 speed. And I was like, oh. So I send that to everybody that's a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, oh, you really want to look for subliminal messages and things? I got a video for you. And it actually helps with getting people to listen to Red too, because they're so amazingly open about their beliefs, but at the same time their music is extraordinary. Like, I think that Red as the next version of Linkin Park, I mean, I've put them in that level of they're my number one band and they have the same sound style as Linkin Park when they started. So I'm like, why wouldn't they be Linkin Park 2.0? And that could upset people, but I'm like, still, it's that impactful for me. Do you feel the same impact from them?
Kind of. I think, I don't think I've listened to them as much as you have, but they're a band I think they're genuinely one of the best, if not the best, Christian rock band to ever exist.
Yes.
Like, I think Michael Barnes is his name, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. He has one of the best voices in rock, period. Like, they're a really, really good band. And it's cool to see with a Christian band that's so open about their beliefs that I feel like sometimes Christian bands can just be kind of generic and almost capitalizing off the fact that they're Christian.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Red is one of those, they're their own unique band. There's no band that sounds quite like them, especially with Michael Barnes' voice. And so I feel like I could show them to anyone that doesn't listen to mostly Christian music or isn't a Christian or anything, and they would still be able to enjoy them just as much because they're just a really, really talented band.
Absolutely. And they don't usually lyrically they keep it subtle. Their Christian messages are more of if you know the Bible well, like Innocence and Instinct and Dante's Inferno and all of that will come to fruition, and you'll be able to take in their messages. For me, I'm just like, I love hearing strings, I love hearing guitar, I love hearing all of this together. This works well. His voice, like you said, incredible beyond belief. And so I don't really take it in as much, but I feel like if you show it to your father, who I know has already listened to it, then he would be able to break down exactly what they were trying to say. And I love that is a perspective that we're able to have as music fans and Christians, is this little defining feature of like, well, not only is the music good, but the message is good too. Like that's a great thing. With my favorite album being I'd still say End of Silence. I think End of Silence as a breakout album for any band to immediately have a defining sound and be so incredibly close to Meteora, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park sound. So it's like, here's Red giving you that hope that you can get another Linkin Park. And they also went a completely different direction as their career progressed and went into that incredibly dark but amazing album of Beauty and Rage.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite for sure.
Can I tell you how young were you in 2015?
Oh man. So that would have been, my gosh, I keep forgetting it's 2023 and thinking it's 2021. I'm still like stuck in COVID. But
would you be in elementary school?
8 years ago, I'm almost 18 now.
Yeah, you'd be in elementary school.
Yeah, I would have been like 10. And dude, I remember my dad, I went to this like Christian Boy Scouts thing, and on the way there, my dad would always listen to, what was the song? It's like I think a song off Beauty and Rage. I don't remember which one it was, but he really liked that album and Red in general. So
Yours Again is one of my favorite songs on that album.
Oh yeah, it's almost like a concept album, or maybe you could say it is. Like the way it, with the transitions, the way it flows so well. Like there's a connection point to every song, and the way it ends and flows, it's great.
Truly. So I'm gonna give you some good old nostalgia that you didn't get to have because you were too young and you didn't know the genre existed yet. Red promoted this album by scaring their audience. We got 3 mini snippets of Darkest Part, but it was mostly just the interludes. So it was like the forest and stuff like that. And they would show us part of the video of Darkest Part, but they weren't playing any of the music from the album yet. So we're just seeing these creepy creatures with their plague masks on. And we're like, oh, oh, I'm intrigued but terrified. Are they making a horror movie? What is this? So
So they hadn't announced the album or anything. They just started posting these.
yeah, and you can
Oh
find them.
man.
They're in a playlist called "A Beauty and Rage" or something like that. And yeah, each one of these snippets, it led up to the anticipation for this album. I pre-ordered it, and I got the T-shirt that came with the pre-order. But the coolest thing in the world was 2 weeks before the album came out, we got to have a special code to stream it digitally for like 24 hours. So I heard the album from beginning to end. I was blown away beyond belief.
Mhm.
I when I heard Of These Chains, I was crying. I was crying. I was like, this is the greatest thing. And that was only halfway through the album, you know? And so with the impact that it had on all the other people, younger, older, all the Red fans like came together and they're like, this is the magnum opus of Red. I'm like, I agree with you, but their first album, man, their first
Dude, I can't, like, it's got to be so crazy to be Red and in that position after releasing their first album,
Mhm.
because that was a phenomenal album. Like, and so yeah, to go from that to like, what do you do after that? How do you get better from that? But yeah, for me
It's
personally, Red, or for me personally, A Beauty and Rage, I mean, has got to be my favorite just because I love the cohesion of it. Like, I can listen to the whole album, song to song, and it's telling a story, and I feel like I went through this like emotional journey, you know?
yes. And then you get Take Me Over.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's such a good one.
And Take Me Over sounds like a track that should be on Gone
But it
because
works. Like, yeah.
it's so upbeat. But here, are you excited? This is actually something I found out the other day. Take Me Over has the exact same sound, the background at least, as Linkin Park's song. And this is where I'm going full circle with this because I said Linkin Park was the first sound that Red ever had. It's on Living Things. I think In My Remains.
Oh, interesting.
Listen. I was like, wait a second. Red's on the exact same level as Linkin Park once again, and at the
Hmm.
best point in their career. And that's one of my favorite Linkin Park albums as well, Living Things. So I was like, oh, it's just a connection. And this is
Hmm.
where I'm gonna go into the greatest thing in the world. I love not coincidence, but I love fate. Do you believe in fate?
I have a complicated theological view on that. Um,
Hit me with it. I don't care.
all right. So my view is that in a theological sense, since God created the universe and everything in it, and he knows the past, future, present, everything that's going to happen or has happened, then in a sense, there is fate because God knows what will happen, but we still have the free will to make choices that will influence our future. Even though even though our future has already been determined, like we are, God already knows what's going to happen. That's my idea.
I love it. It's complex, it's deep, and it's honest. Once again, this is one of my favorite reaction channels, Metal 777. Go subscribe if you can immediately after this incredible interview. Isaiah here is full of wisdom. He's so young, and he makes me feel like I haven't lived life yet. Like I don't know the meaning of life yet. But my opinion, when it comes to this idea of fate, I believe that every single day we as people are put in a position where we're surrounded by distraction. The reason for that is because in order for us to be human, we have, free will, make mistakes, all
Hmm.
of that happens, and temptation and, demonic, all of that devil, Satan part of life will get in the way. But because there is always symbols, um, coincidences, as they say, or the idea and feeling that something has happened or will happen and is made for a reason gives you like an olive branch to the right path that God is leading you. God's always there. We
Hmm.
did this thing called the Everything skit for the retreat. I don't know if you've seen it. Lifehouse made this really cool like interpretive dance for this church ministry, whatever it was, and they were talking about like how you can consistently like run this way with like temptation, but Jesus is always here pulling you back. So he's like doing this kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that's basically what I believe in my perspective of how I live my life is I can choose to be aware or I can choose to go a different path. And either way, the consequence is the belief at the end of the day never changes, but the understanding of why the consequence is taking place will determine like where you go from there. I believe that like every single day, my messages that are sent to me are so obvious, and because I'm so distracted with whatever it is, with my phone, with my thoughts, with my actions, all of that pushes me into a corner that I believe I can't escape, but I'm already out of the corner. It's just like this personal awareness has not entered into that time yet. And here's the good part, because I'm saying it right now, I'm keeping the awareness that goes in and out. It's like static and then full picture, static and then full picture. It's like scanning on an old cable TV or basic cable TV. Yeah, you're like, here's God's on this channel. But that other thing was really cool. I got to catch up on that show. Oh, God's here again. Okay. Wait. I got to tune in. He's got something to say this time. Oh, no. Wait, my favorite show is coming on again. And that's what I can perspectively say is like, it is basically in my head, of course, ADHD, ADD, all of that comes into this culmination of like, did I follow through on what I was supposed to do today? And now my ultimate argument, which I've said to many people before, and a lot of people don't like this answer with things. This is the deepest one. If it wasn't meant to happen, why would it happen?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm a very firm believer in purpose. Like fate is a more debatable concept, but purpose is like, yeah, I very firmly believe there's a purpose to everything that has been created or made. Like,
purpose is important. Without purpose, they say life is not worth living. They said that life is a challenge. It says like there's just confusion. You're gonna be stuck in an era of your own will and your own thinking and your own process. Like I said, you're not even close to finding God on the right channel. You are stuck watching your favorite show, which is so good for you for that time period, but eventually consequences will happen and you won't have an answer of why.
I mean, you see people who like go down the kind of path of not having a clear defined purpose. Like I had a coworker, for instance, who was very into a lot of new age type of stuff. Like she'd read tarot cards, was big into horoscopes, that type of stuff.
Oh no.
But that left her without a purpose.
Yes.
Like she would consult her tarot card readings before making decisions like whether she should quit her job. Like that's not good. That's not wise. And so, yeah, I think she didn't have a clear view of any sort of moral compass or right or wrong or God or anything. And so, yeah, without that clear purpose of like some form of reality, you're going to end up nowhere. You're going to end up kind of going in circles.
Yes. And here's the worst part. This is the ultimate test. And I believe I've been through it plenty of times before. When God speaks through you, you got to pay attention to what you're saying. Like I have had moments where I've given the greatest advice for people in their lowest moment. They've never been lower than this, and I've given them the right advice. But when I let myself fall into the same moment, I would tell myself, there's no way out of this. Even though I just gave someone else hope, I then leave myself in this dark area thinking that there's no way out. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, that person was supposed to be, saved today. I'm not worthy yet. It's like Jonah going in the whale. You're stuck. You're in darkness. And you're like, oh, no, not today, God. I can't do it. I can't do it today. I feel as I've grown, as I've left what I believed was the only religion that mattered when I was a kid, I was Catholic. I learned more that my journey, and I'm going to go into you next. My journey is supposed to be individual. I'm supposed to have an individual connection. Like I said, I've talked people through a lot of hard times, and there's nothing that made me feel more whole than helping others. And so I'm like, I need to be there for other people. I can't set myself in this, beautiful, amazing schedule that a lot of people have. It's like, oh yeah, I'm at church every Sunday. I can do all of these things at the church. I'm like, no, 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 no. I need to be there for the people that aren't getting any help because other people are, busy. I don't want to be busy. I want to be wherever I need to be when it comes to that, especially in negative situations. How do you feel that God has specifically called you to live moving forward? Because it's a lot to take in as such a young kid.
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about a ton lately. So when it comes to I don't feel like at this point I haven't been called to anything like a mission work or something like that. Like something like I don't feel like I've been called to be a pastor or something more dramatic like that. But I believe just currently, I think it's right to, and how I want to, I believe the Bible calls us to be participants in the church for me. And so that's something I feel I am very passionate about, and I participate a lot at church. So that's something I think I've been called to. And then, yeah, I think more and more recently too, actually YouTube in a weird way.
Yeah.
My channel has gone from being just a hobby purely to now I've been trying to treat it more seriously like a ministry. So yeah, I don't know.
Wonderful. And it's working.
I hope so. Yeah.
Dude, you went up a lot of subscribers. I mean, any channel out there, you guys all know the deal. You find what's trending, you jump on board and you start reacting to K-pop, and you start reacting to memes, and you start reacting to funny videos. But here's Isaiah. He only sticks to whatever he's been given requests from people and whatever he personally is interested in, and still has grown to over 1,000 subscribers, which is a very challenging thing to do. Your first 100 subscribers feels like the biggest milestone.
Oh yeah.
Every single channel, every single one of your favorite creators will say that to you. Their first 100 subscribers, that felt like 100 people care about me. 100 people. And they say that it's supposed to be easier the more you get up in the big numbers. But I honestly think that your biggest goal should be 1,000, and you've already reached that goal. How did it feel when you saw that number hit 1,000?
Dude, actually, that was less exciting than I feel like it should have been. It hit 777, and to me, that was a moment I was like, this is it. This is this number I've had in my mind for a long time, and I'm like, if we hit 777 subscribers, that will be perfect. That was the only goal I had. And then, yeah, when I hit 1,000, it was kind of a weird moment, because I was like you see, you have the three numbers, and then you add the fourth number with 1,000.
Yes.
That felt weird. And now it feels like nothing. Every time I would hit another 100 subscribers, it felt really cool. And now it doesn't feel that way anymore, because it's still just 1 point, whatever, that's how YouTube abbreviates it.
That's it. That's the truth. Yeah. All right, guys, here's your deal from me, Mr. Media Man Dan. I say that you guys help him get up to 7,770 subscribers, so that he can see it across the board one more time. He will throw the biggest celebration. You'll all be invited. We'll all find our purpose in life if that happens. No, what is the meaning behind Metal 777?
The name?
Yes.
So
the number.
It was just 777. I saw a lot of Christian bands and channels using it.
Okay.
And so to me, it sort of represented there's 666. This is the opposite of that.
Gotcha.
And that's what I think what represents me in the channel and how I wanted to do it at first, which is this is about metal, but I want to make it clear in the name that this is a Christian channel. And I feel like it would be weird to call it Metal Christian or something like that. So I want to make it sound kind of cool. I didn't realize how annoying it would be to say when I came up with it. The amount of times I've had people have to just say Metal 777, and when they're introducing me, I feel bad. But
this is Metal 777.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was either something to do with a biblical message.
That as well, yeah.
7 is a very important number, as you said. Yeah, it's the opposite of 6, which is known as Satan's number, 666. I was also also thinking like Vegas, slot machine 777 lucky number, very lucky jackpot, something of that sort. And so I was like thinking in my mind, I was like, nah, there's probably no reason to ask that question. But as you were saying it, I was like, no, I need to ask this question. So 777, is that your number that you see on a daily basis? Is that something that you look forward to? Anything like that?
What do you mean? Like my lucky special number or whatever?
Like, yeah, is it like your sign that something is going to go right? Because I have a number.
For me personally, I don't, not that I totally don't believe in that, but yeah, it's not really like a special number like that. For me, it's just more of a symbol with meaning,
Yes.
Like when I see 777, it typically communicates Christian or lucky, but typically when it comes to online stuff, Christian.
All right, let's have some fun questions. What is your favorite video game system?
Oh, I don't play very many video games, to be totally honest.
Not a bad thing.
I use
Also,
a PC.
You read.
So yeah,
which is amazing. I can't read well. You said you play PC.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess if I had to choose, I have a very, very old Wii U. That's about it, honestly.
An old Wii U. Oh, dude, how old am I right now? This is crazy. We have a Wii downstairs.
Actually, no, it's not even. No, it's a Wii. Sorry, yeah, it's
okay.
Wii.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's. But I think I got it like maybe 7 to 10 years ago. I don't know how long it's been around, but I got it. Yeah, it's somewhere around that.
It's all right. I'm just gonna contact my attorney. We're gonna get the will set up, ready to go. Yeah, the Wii came out in 2007.
Oh man, that's longer ago than I thought. Actually, dang.
My grade lines up with the year, so it's pretty cool. Like my kindergarten was 2000, so 2007 I was in 7th grade, and I'll remember that. So like 2008 I think is when we got our Wii. I remember getting this hilarious birthday card where it was like, what do you say on a roller coaster? Wii. And it was like the picture of the Wii or something like that. That's how I found out I was getting a Wii. This was my first Nintendo system. But so let's go back to your PC. What is your favorite game on your PC?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna alienate myself even more. Age of Empires.
Age of Empires, and that's RPG.
That's like what's a term? I think. Shoot, what's the term for a strategy game? I don't know. Basically, online strategy.
Online strategy.
It's a lot of it's similar to what you might find with what's a game?
Clash of Clans.
No, more like what's that older PC game that had, I think, Star in it? I don't know. StarCraft.
Okay.
It's very similar to like StarCraft, but
so StarCraft
with medieval knights and stuff.
Oh, medieval times StarCraft.
Yeah, you can maybe call it that.
That's cool.
Maybe I'm getting that. Wait. Let me search this up, actually. I need to make sure I'm being accurate.
As long as you don't say Star Fox, I think you'll be okay.
Yes, it is. So StarCraft is what I'm referring to.
Perfect.
And it is like a...
overhead, putting your...
Yeah, moving your people around.
Moving your people, moving the buildings.
And yeah.
See, I had a game that everybody loved, and it's now been remade, and I don't like the new version, but I own the new version. I have played it one time, and I was like, this is nothing like my game. Zoo Tycoon.
Oh.
Yeah. The old version of that game was so much fun. I mean, other than like letting all my pedestrians get eaten by dinosaurs, I was so excited to be able to like feed animals and like show how bad it looks like when you have a elementary school or take care of a zoo, because I was in debt. I think we were like $8 million in the hole. I had to block the gates because people kept leaving, and I was like, no, you can't leave. You have to get eaten by the dinosaurs.
That's amazing.
Yeah, fun times. All G-rated PG, and it was fun. It was a fun game. Computer games, though, changed when I finally got my PS2. We had a PS1 before that, so it was computer and PS1 most of the time. And then the PS2 came, and I didn't need anything else in my life. PS2 like ran my world until I got an Xbox. But now let's get out of video games. Do you watch any sports?
Man, you're like hitting me with questions that I can't. So not really. honestly. That's probably the thing I have the least knowledge about.
Gotcha.
I have a basic understanding of baseball and basketball and football, and that's about where it ends. Like, I can go over to someone's house and watch it and be like, oh, that team's winning. But that's about the extent of my knowledge.
Most recently, I got into wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love AEW wrestling. It's like good old WWE, but pretty crude, pretty violent. And I find it fascinating because I was in karate for 12 years and I would watch Power Rangers and all kinds of action movies. So I'm always interested in seeing really well done choreography. And there is one team on the AEW that is literally called The Elite, and all elite wrestling is what AEW stands for. These people are literally like flying over each other and doing backflips. It's the most tremendous thing I could ever imagine in wrestling. I'm just like, this is the best thing in the world. This is awesome. And that happened most recently. I think it was last year that we got into wrestling, or I got into wrestling. My fiance's brother has been into it for a long time. And I never got the hype until I saw the movie Fighting with My Family. That was a good movie. I have it right next to me. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
Now I can go segue into this. What's your favorite type of movie?
I can talk about this now.
Okay.
I would say for me, gritty drama. That's how I describe it.
Gritty drama. Okay. My favorite type of movie is anything that can keep my attention and have me thinking about it afterwards.
That's a good definition. I watch more TV shows than movies.
Okay.
I could list off a lot of TV shows, but when it comes to movies, I would say like Fight Club is what comes to mind. I think that would count as like kind of a gritty drama, maybe,
That's really violent.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
It's a weird thing. I don't know if it's a good thing necessarily, but yeah, I'd say my favorite shows are like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Recently I've been getting into a show called Person of Interest, which is maybe a little bit less bloody type of violent. One type I personally can't stand is like family dramas.
Family dramas, no. Okay.
Now, yeah, to be clear, I would say there's a cutoff point, actually. I can't watch any family drama that was made after like 2010. Like any recent ones, I just can't get into. 90s ones, yeah, I enjoy that type of stuff. But
okay,
when it comes to more modern stuff, I just can't get into it.
And family comedy?
Yeah, I'd say that's more what I would enjoy, actually.
Like the Goldbergs?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen a lot of it, but yeah, from what I've seen, like my parents have shown me some stuff, some assorted episodes of random shows.
The Middle?
Yeah, probably some of that.
Full House?
Probably some of that as well.
Okay.
It's like all these just assorted episodes I've been shown. I haven't watched like the whole show or anything.
Gotcha. All right. So the finishing question. Here we go. When it comes to YouTube, do you trust that we're going to be around with all of the things changing all the time with the copyrights and everything like that? Do you think that we're going to make it on the smaller side of channels?
Like when it comes to reactions specifically? Or...
Yeah, definitely reactions.
Yeah.
Copyrighted content. Oh my goodness.
So part of the reason I'm kind of going in Nick Nocturnal's direction with content is because I don't want to deal with more copyright stuff, honestly. That has not been... It's not fun when you put hours into a video and then it's just gone. Like nobody can ever see it. I
hate that.
Yeah, exactly. So like I hope it'll continue to be around. I think what I'm doing might, because a lot of the bands I react to I have individual relationships with, and like a lot of the labels are very small, and so most of them I haven't had any issues. The only ones I've had issues with are like Sony, UMG, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah. Playing it safe without getting those big guys involved too. Very smart.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Especially, what's weird to me is a lot of the laws other countries are making about YouTube and copyright.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, there was, about Bill C-11, and I believe it was Canada.
Yes. Yeah, I most recently heard about that from Call Me Chris. I was watching her video, and she was like, my content will probably not show up on your feed anymore if you're in Canada. I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird stuff. Like, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. And that's why, I think would that extend to a lot of like the third party platforms or just YouTube and a lot of like the big ones? So I've been thinking like there's Rumble too. There are a lot of other
Oh gosh.
smaller ones.
If Canada finds out about Rumble, they'll shut that down from everybody's
Yeah.
server.
So that's where but yeah, I'm a little concerned about the way things are going with that more than even just copyright stuff. Like, I really don't want to be in a system where people in other countries and other, like, that's the appeal of YouTube to me, right? Like, you can find this huge community across the world.
Yes.
It's really cool. But if that starts getting more privatized to individual countries, then that's going to be kind of an issue. That kind of defeats the purpose of the internet to me.
Yeah, Canada is becoming the CCP, and that is not a good thing that we want to have.
Yeah.
For our media. I mean, we as Americans are very lucky. We have all of the rights to say whatever we want, show whatever we want within reason. But like, it's not as big of a deal here yet. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, that's what's concerning. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways we're like 10 years behind Canada.
We are. And a lot of people have been talking about like their healthcare and all of that for a while, but there's arguments against it as well. And I won't jump into politics with you. That's not what your channel's based on. But I completely understand your concern is, will our content even be seen if our audience is no longer allowed to, view it in other countries, especially people that like love the band Love Bites that I've reacted to. And I was also going to talk about their copyrights are awesome. Thank you, whoever runs Love Bites. You're awesome for letting full music play. Yeah, nobody gets in trouble for playing an entire album. I love you for that. Thank you so much, Love Bites, for letting your fans see your content. It's insane. I've put so many titles over videos, and even that doesn't do it for some of them.
Or where you have to put like a black screen over the top of the music video, or
it's like just. No, what's the point? And one of the biggest videos that I did was like older big videos, 2,000 or 3,000 views it's at right now, is like Linger by the Cranberries. And I put a picture of the band over it because it got copyrighted and I didn't know what to do back then. So I was like, I'll just put a picture of the band. And I had so many people in the comments like, I can't see the video. And I'm like, don't worry, I did. I saw the video. I know you can't, but that's just the way it is. Isn't that funny?
Well, that's a concern though, that like to me, the internet, the beauty of it is that anyone anywhere can see what's going on elsewhere. And you get like if I want to know what's going on in, I don't know, British politics.
Yes.
There's probably some random guy in Britain tweeting about it all the time.
Oh yeah.
And like, you can see that. But if it becomes more and more segregated, where countries are sort of blocking the internet off from each other, like if the US were to follow Canada's move and you can only see like American stuff, then that defeats the purpose of the internet being actually valuable for finding information, because you won't be able to access a lot of valuable information out there.
It defeats the title of the internet, the World Wide Web. That's for all the newbies that have not typed that in because they're too busy on their smartphone. If you type in any web link, it says www for a reason, and that means World Wide Web. The reason I'm bringing that up right now is because we have audiences on the other side of the planet that we've been able to contact. We've been able to make happy. I mean, some people, it's like you brighten up their day. You have to upload at a certain time. When I was making reactions to like Voice of Bossaprout or Basaprot or whatever the heck it is,
however you say it,
yeah, they were like super excited. And I told my friend Jimmy, who I'm going to be interviewing as well, I was like, dude, you gotta react to this band and you gotta upload at 2 or 3 in the morning. It is the best time to get views and feedback, and it's the most important thing for any YouTuber, is to get that feedback from the audience, whether it's negative or positive. I think you'd agree that if we don't get feedback, it's more disappointing than getting a hater. Like a hater, you're just like, all right, you're one. And
some haters are fun too.
Oh, they're really fun, and they never miss a video.
Yeah, I got a comment from someone recently, totally out of the blue. They probably are not into Christian metal based on their comment, but they just said I look like a lesbian, and that's it. They just said, you look like a butch lesbian. That's the comment. And I think I just said like, thank you or something. Like, I don't even know what to say to that, but I found that so funny.
That's the best too, is like you have this positive outlook on everything, so you're not taking offense to any ridiculous comment like that and being like, what does that mean? Was that like personal attack or something? I should put Brie Larson in there. But dude, thank you so much for joining me for this interview, and thank you so much for giving me your time. How can people support you outside of YouTube?
Outside of YouTube, I mean, I have an Instagram profile. I have other profiles across the internet. And yeah, as long as you're not in Canada, you should be able to see that for a long time. But yeah, so just other places on the internet. I think that's about it. Like, I don't have any other places, so.
No worries. So basically Instagram and YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, I mean, if you want to follow TikTok, then you can.
Wait, what about your Discord?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I have a Discord server. And if you want to join that, that would be really cool. Yeah, there's kind of a cool community going on there, so feel free to join. And
you can listen to music with him and get his perspective immediately. No editing needed. Immediate response. You can't beat it. It's like Patreon without paying. Dude, I swear I'm a marketing
that up. Yeah,
man. Marketing mastermind.
I feel like after this, like every single person that watches the episode is gonna have to subscribe because of how well you marketed my channel.
Happy to help you out, man. Also, I'm gonna go into this part here. Anybody that is available to make amazing music, watch a couple of videos from this amazing man's channel and get that awesome intro for him. Completely free. Send it to him in DMs or something like that. Just say, hey, I feel like this is your vibe. And he'll probably use it because he needs something. There's something there. It's just missing. Every time the video starts, I'm like, wait a second. There's no advertisement. He starts talking immediately. And I put an intro for every single one of my videos and screwed up on so many of them where I didn't even say the right things. Like that's where my mind went. And I was just like, he's so much better at this. He doesn't even need an intro. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this incredible episode of the Media Man Dan podcast. Once again, Isaiah Metal 777 needs your help, needs your love. Support him in every single way. Join his Discord, join his Instagram following, help him out, subscribe to him, send him to your family, your friends. You got family friendly, happy content here. There is literally no explicit warning on any video. Incredible. And he is always keeping it real, keeping it genuine, and giving you the greatest insight you could get from a young man involved in Christian theology and music loving. Like it's just an overall perfect picture of what the future should look like, especially with all of these people overreacting on YouTube. This man keeps it real, and I respect that 100%. Isaiah, thanks again for joining me, man.
Thanks so much for having me on. This has been awesome.
Awesome, man. All right, guys, you have an awesome day and stay safe out there. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Media Man Dan podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome day and stay safe out there. Peace.